Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at my master teams, or the team setups that I was running for master. Unfortunately I've been a victim of my own success and I am now in Challenger 5 and I've still got 35 attempts left. I've not done any attempts today and I do need to do 10 more, so I will be releasing another video on my Challenger teams in a little bit. So we'll go ahead and check those out later. So subscribe if you have not already to keep up with the latest updates with regards to these teams. Now what we're going to have to do is going to have to go back and we're going to have to find somebody who managed to get through all 5 of my teams. Unfortunately, I've not got anybody really. So as you can see, all of the past attempts have been victories, except for there was one. Yeah, so one here, but unfortunately we only got to see 4 teams on that one rather than the full 5. So let's go ahead and check. So we checked Trucklam. Let's check the Raven. Okay, so this one's cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at all of the different teams, and we're going to do it in action as well. So let's jump in and let's see how far we get with this. So first things first, the Dooms team. The Dooms team, I think, are one of the strongest, or is possibly one of the strongest teams currently for PvP. That is defending and attacking, and that is with the introduction of the 3rd Monarch. That is Leviathan. So Leviathan, everybody knows her for her cake, but a lot of people also know her for her 200% increased reflect rate, and also we reflect attacks back. We also have Halissa. Everybody should know Halissa by now, the Monarch buffer. So if you have 3 Monarchs on the team, each one of those Monarchs will get an additional 300% HP. Very, very strong. Now, we do have Arthur and Dahlia up at the front. The reason that I've included Arthur and Dahlia up at the front is because when Dahlia attacks, she will switch with Arthur, copying all of the buffs that he does have, which makes him even stronger. You want to build up Arthur as much as possible over the course of the fight, especially the first 2 to 3 rounds, where Arthur will really start to pop off. The reason for that is because of Arthur dealing excess reflect damage. So he deals his own reflect damage, he deals relic reflect damage, he deals actual reflect damage from the synergy itself, and as well, if you can get Doris on the team somehow, then he will also deal an extra bit of reflect damage on top of that. So initially 4, or effectively 4 stacks of reflect damage, which if you add up 30% 4 times, it just means that you can take down enemy Monarchs as well, and that is the whole point. So Arthur can take down Monarchs if you do have him fully built up. Now the other, so that's the combo. So it's having Arthur and Dahlia on this front row to build up as much as possible. You have Leviathan to reflect attacks directly back to the attackers. You have Merlin to apply the additional reflect rate, and also for the physical damage reduction he does provide with his runes. Very, very strong. And as well, you have Halissa, who will do quite significant damage, but she is primarily there for the increase in buffs as well. So basically every single round Halissa will apply a number of different buffs to our team based on the attack stacks and reflect stacks that she has on her at the time, which is why she works well with Merlin and Athena, because with their exclusive runes they also increase the reflect rate, and or they add attack stacks and reflect stacks as well, respectively, when a unit gets hit or when we do reflect damage. I believe that's how it works anyway, and so Halissa builds up very, very quickly. Now this is going to be a long fight against Audrey. As you can see, the only person who is doing damage to Audrey is herself. We can't do any actual damage to her. As you can see, she's already built up way too much. But when she does attack herself, that is when we can start to do the damage. But So it seems it would have taken up to round 10. Fortunately, we did go ahead and skip that. And now we're on to the second team. So the second team in my master setup is the Mistifiers. Now, Mistifiers are very strong. Unfortunately, the best defenders and basically the best PvP unit in the game is Aphrodite. Aphrodite can just steal all of your units whenever it is. Whenever it is feasible to do so. Now, she can't do it right now. And the reason for that is because the dragon is there. If the dragon was not there, we would have lost this much, much sooner. But as it stands, we're doing reasonable damage. Unfortunately, we are getting stunned quite a bit as well. And that is with thanks in part to Persephone's exclusive runes, her half-red runes. They do, when you attack and she dodges, she does have a chance to stun as well. But this is where Aphrodite is really going to start to pop off. Now, as for my team, I should have gone for full Monarchs for this defending team. For attacking team, you go all strikers. You have your Tsukiyomi, you have Mulan, and you have Catherine. You have Emily here for the increased corrode stack limit, and you also apply 5 stacks of corrode at the start of battle. That is a very powerful ability. Do not sleep on that. You also have Gaia. Now, Gaia allows for your team to do to act first, which in most cases is very good, but against an opposing Aphrodite, it is actually very bad. And Aphrodite is just a hard counter to Mistifiers. 100% she's a hard counter to Mistifiers, and the reason for that, whenever she does her ultimate, she removes all debuffs from all allies, and she gains attack equal to or up to about 1,000%, which is why we lost that one, unfortunately. The reason that we lose this one is because Eudora and Gaia both on the same team and enemies are going first. Doesn't matter how strong your team is, doesn't matter what setup you've got. The fact that this Eudora gets to attack first and gets to freeze the majority of our team here means that we do lose this one, unfortunately. But the basic premise of my team, you've got Elisha, Eudora, you've got, Eudora and Wukong as your deviants, and then you've got, Elisha and Wukong is your deviants, and you've also got Eudora here, Eudora, Karnak, and Eloin. Now, I have replaced Eloin recently with Tsukiyomi for this particular season. The reason for that is primarily because of the shielding effect that and the increased crit damage that Amaterasu, if I called her Tsukiyomi before, I'd just getting confused. I'm an old man, leave me be. But Amaterasu does apply that shielding effect and can be very, very effective. Again, though, unfortunately, there's just no beating enemy Aphrodite. There's no beating a Gaia and Eudora combo, especially with Elisha on the team as well. As you can see, it's basically a mirror, except instead of Gaia on the team, you have Wukong on my team. And enemy has also gone for a bit of a weird setup with no energy gain whatsoever. As you can see, they're on 0 energy. It's a bit strange. But, you know, if you want to go for that, that's absolutely fine. You go for it. I still think it's wrong, but that's just me. Now, third team, we have gone for my Avengers. Fourth team, we've gone for Avengers. The reason for that is because in situations like this, we cannot lose this match. We cannot lose round 4. And Avengers being, I would probably suspect specifically because Aphrodite exists. Aphrodite being the strongest PvP unit in the game. There's just no two ways about it. And we just need to win in this one, which is actually quite fortunate for us because, again, the Avengers setup that I've gone for, it's okay. But what I would suggest is, if you probably take out either Janna, or you would take out Hey Kate on this one, and you would put Lachesis in for PvP specifically, because Lachesis can remove all of these pesky buffs as well. So we do have enemy with Ayush the Skin, and we have a lot of our units going down here, which is a bit of a shame, but fortunately we do get Aphrodite back because we are playing Avengers. We've got Hey Kate for damage. We have Althea to bring our Avengers back immediately. We also then have Janna on the front. Hopefully Janna can survive for long enough to allow for her to do enough damage. And as you can see, wiped out basically the entire enemy team here with Aphrodite. Again, there's no two ways about it. She is the strongest PvP unit in the game, which is why I've gone with stage 4. So if, you know, somebody can't beat the first 3 teams, fine. But if we lose, we've got to at least beat one of those, and then we can start to use Aphrodite. Now, the final team that I've gone for here is Glorians, and the reason for that is because of the stun that we pop on. So I have used the stun artifact. It just means that we get that first turn of build up for our team. It helps protect our Seraphina. Seraphina will be able to, or will allow us to heal up, or at least overheal up to that 250 million as quickly as possible. We've got Chang on the team to do her ultimate attacks. We have Audrey on the team as well to allow for the increased attack and increased healing that we've got. Enemy also has the same idea, but unfortunately we do have Audrey on the team who has stolen all of that healing and applied it to herself, and now she gets a second dose of that healing. We are building up and building up and building up here. Very, very strong. We have also had Cleo on the team. Very, very powerful indeed. And we also and Audrey hopefully should do the business here. Now, as you can see, enemy has a lot. Well, we've done our ultimate 3 times there, I believe, and it is very, very good. Very, very good. It's why I've gone with this team. As you can see, Hades down, which means we get our Wu back as well. Wu is on the team primarily for the 75% damage reduction that she applies to the entire team. Now, we have been burned, unfortunately. It is what it is. It is a control effect that does apply, but we're not taking altogether too much because we have built up so much already. And now it is just a matter of time. Audrey is going to do the business. She is very strong by herself, but when paired with units like Wu, who's going to steal Catherine for us, that is excellent. So we do steal Catherine, and we now have the protect function for the next 3 rounds as well, which means that any damage we take will go directly onto this Catherine. And unfortunately, yeah, so Chang hitting the dragon there. It is what it is, but we do steal that holy shield from the enemy, and now we retaliate with our shadow arcs as well, or our grace of shadow arc, which does allow for it does allow for a lot of ultimates. An enemy going full protection mode here as much as possible. We do get the death of enemy Catherine for our team, and it seems to be working out very well. We've got a lot of protection up. We've got those holy shields from Cleo. We do have holy shields from the flame banner as well, and we've got full protection from Sylvan's shield and the exorcism cauldron. So those were the teams that I ran from rank. I think I was at bronze 3, something like that, and then I ranked all the way up to challenger just by getting attacked. I didn't really use many of my attempts, as you can see, up to 35 attempts. And what I will be doing is I'm going to record another video where I go through building my challenger teams, and then we're going to test them out as well, just to see how good those teams are, where we need to make changes, which teams lose consistently, so what teams do need changing, and we'll find that out in the next video. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you have had a fantastic day, and yeah, good luck in the World Arena.